we will introduce you to how AI can help you with homeschooling. Now, let me first kind of settle that point on homeschooling. When it comes to parenthood, naturally, one of the questions you have to think about is, shall I send my child, depending on where you are, shall I send my child to public schooling, right? Very few of us can afford private school, if that, but generally it's public schooling, right? And now we are living in a place where a lot of ideologies are being presented at school, and naturally, as parents, you're concerned, correct? So homeschooling has become slowly a very, very popular option, believe it or not. It's become very popular. I was even surprised while I was in the Middle East, we saw like very interesting statistics where, because, in the Middle East, it's a very affluent place, generally speaking, like in the UAE in particular. Like we have this culture of private tuition. So we hire private teachers. Like I was a private teacher for many, many families, right? So they have no problem paying for a private tutor. But even in that culture, so to speak, we saw statistics saying that in the Khaliji region, so the Khaliji meaning the Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, UAE, Bahrain, those countries, right? That in the Khaliji region, that we are already seeing a 17 to 27% increase in homeschooling, which is very surprising. In a culture where it's norm to pay for one-on-one private personal tutors, even there's now a shift towards homeschooling, not to send your kid to a schooling system. And so homeschooling represents both challenges and opportunities. Challenges are that one of the parents must take this on as a full-time job, right? Naturally, if you're going to take the responsibility of teaching your children now, one of you has to work and one of you has to focus on the kids, correct? That's the general strategy that I've seen with homeschoolers, at least with some of the families that I've engaged with, right? And when the person who has this task, naturally, particularly if they're not a teacher, they have a lot of things that they need to learn. They need to learn because they'll be encountering subjects that they've never come across, right? What we were when we were kids versus what the kids are learning now, Asman Sameen Faraq, man, it's a huge difference, right? So there's a learning curve involved. Now here, at this point, AI, ChatGPT can help significantly. And we feel these are optimal tools for these purposes, right? So that's why we thought, why not have a course that can help parents and students, maybe professionals, but it's mostly parents and students that can really benefit from that. So this course assumes that you have no background training in ChatGPT, right? That your technical skills are zero. So it doesn't assume that you know technicality to do with ChatGPT. So we slowly build you up bit by bit by bit.